Boston wrestling sports and the MWF explodes into a new year of unknown with professional wrestling content galore, and we need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after we review the previous night's Monday Night Raw, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with the unpredictable WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights after WWE, NXT, and AEW at 10 p.m., you never know who's going to show up on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey through the 80s and 90s on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday nights after the lights go down at the Thunderdome on SmackDown, it's John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. If you want early, ad-free access to all of our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and to help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times, for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, wherever you may be, hope you are much warmer than your humble host here post-blizzard and Arctic temperatures at MWF Studios downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, and the zip code of champions 02176. We made out all right in this area. I feel like I wasted my day away from the studio yesterday, ending my streak of 43 consecutive days. We probably had about 4 inches. I have a sibling that lives about a half an hour away from here that got 18 inches. So I'm more than content with what fell on our end. Don't forget, we have 2 big episodes coming up tonight at 9 p.m. We review last night's WWE Monday Night Raw. Then at 10 p.m., it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. With a whirlwind of activity going on, truly wanted to say something that I think a lot of people forget to say sometimes. It's a phrase that's often forgotten, but thank you. Appreciation and gratitude go a long way. Thank you to the fans that support us, whether it be simply watching our programs, giving the videos thumbs up on YouTube, so YouTube shares our content with more and more new fans, subscribing to the YouTube channel for free, and what's becoming the most important, sharing the links to our videos across your social media platforms to get more and more new eyeballs on our programs, especially our 4 weekly Wrestling Insider talk shows. I've said it many times. I have no ego. I realize there are millions of current and especially lapsed fans that have no idea Boston Wrestling MWF exists. But once they do, they're going to love us. The year-to-year growth across 2020 into 2021 is all the proof I need of that. That's not an opinion to me. That is fact. I want to send a special thank you to those that go above and beyond and help us keep the lights on and support our efforts to keep the legends working. Those of you that are kind enough to make the Super Chat donations during the episode premieres. Some fans that can't join us during the live premieres are generous enough to send us a little love on PayPal at bw@bostonwrestling.com. That also helps. Those of you that have gone from being friends on YouTube to part of our growing family over at Patreon, where we offer early, ad-free, full-screen access to our Wrestling Insider shows, our studio shoot interview DVD library that's been seen by millions online and millions more on The Howard Stern Show, exclusive content, plus, again, most of all, helping keep wrestling legends working, the legends that gave so much of their life to us, that have largely no income right now, going on 10-plus months due to coronavirus. There are next to no independent wrestling events for them to wrestle on, almost no autograph signings, fan fests are non-existent. It's been tough for them. If you don't have an AEW or a WWE contract, life is pretty tough right now. But for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, you can join us at Patreon at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Try it for a month. I think you'll love it. As I've noted, if we could get 100 regular monthly Patreons, we could really do some special things. And again, we just have to keep growing and growing and growing, one fan at a time. As I've always noted, Little Marty and others, every dollar starts with a penny. As always, I'm looking for new ideas to try and bring you more original, interesting content. Let me tell you, aside from the actual marathon taping sessions we go through to be able to afford to produce our 4 weekly in-studio Wrestling Insider shoot interview talk shows each week, it's a hell of a lot of work editing them. At the same time, I realize it's quite the dedication to fans to join us 4 nights a week at 10 p.m. for the episode premieres. Thus, I came up with the idea one cold morning in the shower recently to produce the new A Week in Review program that has every Wrestling Insider talk show episode that week in one easy, one-stop shopping, so to speak, on Saturday nights at 10 p.m. when life has unfortunately become much quieter for those of us that are social individuals that like to be out and about due to the virus. Saturday night at 10 usually it turns into a 3 or 4 hour episode with tons of great content, tons of opinions from several different wrestling legends. Most weeks we produce 3 WWE and AEW review shows, podcast style like this, looking at Raw, NXT, AEW Dynamite, and SmackDown. Much easier to edit than the talk shows, I'll say, but still a time commitment to record them and then edit them so they're ready Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9 p.m. on schedule. To try and entice folks to join us on YouTube and Patreon and share some smaller memories, we have our Wrestling Insider flashback clips Saturday, Sunday, Monday at 2 p.m. The reaction to those, they really blow me away sometimes with how many people actually watch them. I think the small clips sometimes are the way to go, but I truly believe in our big mission, the overall focus of what we do, which are those full-length episodes, at least as of the moment. In January, I added the daily WWE history videos to the plate, where we flash back to live event results around the globe, largely focused on the 80s and 90s, which is largely the focus of the Wrestling Insiders talk shows. They're short, sweet, and to the point. A nice little promotional tool for the YouTube and Patreon channels, where you get to relive the good old days of professional wrestling, as we like to say. Again, a lot of work to produce even these little segments, as there's several steps I have to go through. For almost every video we release, you guys don't know this, I usually make 2 and even 3 edited versions. So I like to have an evergreen version. This is something I've started over the past few months, so years from now, I don't have to do a complete re-edit to try and reuse something. For example, with the live event results, we don't have to make an episode from scratch. We have the content of the results and the news and the notes from the event, and then we just slide in, say, a 2023 version of a Patreon commercial or something like that. The same thing with the clips and the Wrestling Insider talk shows, where the YouTube versions are so graphic heavy. We might have something different to produce in 2024 if we want to re-release the episode. So it takes a lot of time. But I'll tell you this, it also has its pluses. For example, I already have flashback videos produced for certain weekends each month, all the way through the month of November this year. My crazy brain has a plan to make things easier long-term, but short-term, let me tell you, there's a reason why I was here for 43 consecutive days after my Florida workcation with Little Marty and Linda. That's why I spent Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, every day here at MWF Studios. Between the Boston bad boy Tony Rumble, who broke me into this great sport, the late Ed Cohen, who was the second employee ever hired by Vince and Linda McMahon in WWF to run their live events department, and the late Paul Bearer, who was like a second father to me, I was taught many lessons in wrestling. Sacrifice and hard work are two of the biggest ones. That's why I get frustrated with the likes of someone like Socko and others that have been in his position in the past that I genuinely like as human beings. I think they're great people with potential, but their attitudes towards what we do, their attitudes towards what it takes to make it in the king of sports, it's a major turnoff to me. It leaves a lot to be desired. I'm lucky to have a lot of great people around me whose brains I can pick. I continue to come up with ideas to grow what we're doing month to month. For example, let me tell you this. If we could grow the numbers comparing January 2020 to January 2021, if we could do that from January 2021, this current month, well, last month, I guess you could say, to January 2022, you would be floored by what we could do in this studio and who we could have with us. The lives we could change, the wrestlers we could help earn income, a living. That's my goal. Original talk shows, 7 days a week. And then if we get to that point, let's try for 2 original talk shows each night, each week. A few years from now, how about 3 a night? Let's give these wrestling legends a platform to work on that does not involve a wrestling ring and does not involve crowds, because who knows how long our lives are going to be affected by the virus day to day as far as our activities and our things we like to do for fun. The unfortunate reality is we're going to lose legends between now and then. We are, God, we had Road Warrior Hawk lined up to be with us. Road Warrior Animal lined up to be with us in the studio in April and in November before those live events he was scheduled to work on kept getting postponed due to the virus. Now we'll never have Animal in studio, unfortunately. We've had discussions with legends like King Kong Bundy, George the Animal Steele, Mean Gene Okerlund, and so many others. How cool would it have been to have several episodes with those legends taped? But unfortunately, they passed away, and it usually comes down to the dollars and cents, which is why the Patreon is so important, why the Super Chats are so important, because you guys, make it happen, not me. I can put the grunt work in, but without you guys, again, without great wrestling fans, we have nothing. Even Paul Bearer and I, we had a long-term plan for the studio for his involvement, and then we lost our beloved friend in 2013. We had a concept for a late-night talk show type program with the Iron Sheik. Then he got sober, and his physical suffering made it so hard for him to even move around the house, never mind travel, so that didn't happen. I believe in what we do. I have the drive. I have the work ethic to make it happen. Again, you are our tag team partners. So if we're going to tag up, let's be tag team champions. Let's do it the best way possible, baby. I've outlined in many ways how you can help, in small ways, in big ways. Let's create the wrestling history fans will enjoy years from now that WWE will never produce for you. They'll never produce it the way we do. I look forward to the adventure ahead, the surprises ahead, the stars that we will see in this studio in 2021 that, we'll have some that I'm sure I'm not even expecting right now. Again, a big thank you to those that watch, to those that contribute. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours, be well, stay healthy. If you're watching this on Tuesday night, again, don't forget at 9 p.m., we have our Raw review program. Then at 10 p.m., it's Wrestling Insiders at Your House with my longtime close personal friend, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. We'll see you then. The World Wrestling Federation was live at the CYC in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Monday, February the 2nd, 1981. In the opening contest, Yoshiaki Yatsu beat Baron Mikel Cicluna. The Moondogs with the win over Jim Duggan and Yoshiaki Yatsu. S.D. Jones defeated the Hangman. Stan Hansen victorious over Dominic DeNucci. Hulk Hogan beat WWF Tag Team Champion Tony Gurria. And in the main event, WWF Intercontinental Champion Pedro Morales retained the title over Killer Khan. If you are in Scranton Live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the links in the description box to keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our acclaimed Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston wrestling sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view, watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.